Okay, so I think that's probably been enough preparation time, I guess. Uh, Hi. Probably not a frame rate. Alright, good. So, here's my problem. I have a ton of files around here, and my storage is full. Like, actually, really full. Like, full to the point where I actually can't do stuff anymore. But the solution is this. This is a Western Digital SN550. It is an SSD, 512GB, and we're going to be taking my SSD off of my laptop, putting it in here, cloning it, and then putting this back, and wiping that SSD for use in my PC. Yes, my friends, this is going to be one hell of a troubleshooting night. It's currently 10:30 right now, and I have stuff to do later, so let's get on to it. First though, a classical unboxing of this SSD. This is the Western Digital WD Blue SN550. It is an NVMe SSD. It is PCIe Gen 3 by 4 SSD capable of sustaining write speeds of up to apparently 2400 megabytes per second, correct? And from the reviews, it's actually not too bad of an SSD considering that it's like a DRAM-less one. It uses some technology called host memory buffer, or HMB, if I recall correctly, which essentially uses the PCI interface's lightning fast, relatively speaking, versus SATA interface in order to essentially use the system's DRAM as cache. So, right, I'm going to unbox stuff and I do not have a knife with me. That is always a good sign. Okay. Thankfully, let's just take fairly straightforward stuff actually. Got yourself manual? Oh, it's the warranty. Alright. Warranty guide. And not much else. You got the SSD itself here though. Which let's take a look here. They do not have another screw. That's going to be a bit of a problem. I'm going to be solving that one later. But anyways, here it is. The WD Blue, there you go. The WD Blue SN550, you can see it right here. NVMe SSD, there's a model number and your details. Curiously, only this is the controller. Or, I don't know if that's completely correct, but there's a chip in here, and this is the only other chip in the board. This is a completely, according to the articles that I read, this is a completely custom-made board by Western Digital themselves, and even the controllers and the NAND flash that's on here has been like custom-made for their specifications. So that's really interesting. We're going to be putting that aside for now. Because we have another agenda here, which is to be opening this bloody thing up. So I kind of know my way around it here already, but I guess we're going to find out if that's truly realistically the case. So yeah, apologies for my very bad lighting here, by the way. I do not have another light, and my angle's kind of off. We have to be moving some stuff around here. I legit just got home, so this is all a mess. I forced it? Yes, I did. Damn. Okay. I will force my way from that, and there she is. that is what we're going to be replacing, which is, I believe, a generic SK Hynix SSD right there. So we're going to be replacing this one right here. And to do that, we're going to be, first of all, removing the battery first so that we don't short anything else on the board. There's actually a very important first step for any process like this. Some people don't do it, and it's probably fine, but I'm taking no chances here. But there we go. That is a fairly easy step to do, because it's literally just removing a screw. Okay, the easy part's done now. There's your SK Hynix SSD right there. Oh, there you go. Forgot to see orientation right there. There you go. That's 128 gigs of very full storage, by the way. It's also a singular chip one, but obviously this one is way denser because it's a 512 gig one and it's only one-sided. So the question now becomes, how in the hell I'm going to be transporting all of this in there? And the answer is, we're going to be finding out. So I'm going to be covering this up for now so that they don't short anything. And I'm going to be turning my cam away into this mess right here. I don't know if I have somewhere to plant this on, but hopefully I do. I don't. Right, I don't. So I guess you're just going to have to bear with me here. So there's your two NVMe SSDs right here. And as I said, I do not have enough screws. I only have one. But hopefully, I can use some of those in here. First of all, before I do that, I'm going to be turning off the system. I'm going to be unplugging it. Oh, it's not complete. Okay. I should be fine. That's actually hilarious. Okay. So we're back. We're being sidetracked by literally everything here. Nothing here is giving me much confidence, but hold on. Oh, what's that? Hopefully it didn't short anything. Where the hell is the HDMI? Oh, there it is. Okay. Boot it up. Huh? Oh. Still going. Okay. Whoops. I'm going to be recording this in case that one isn't. So, let's put this thing up. We have fan spin. Very loud fan spin. Hopefully BIOS shows up. There it goes. I'm going to have to enter delete here. Come on. Okay, we're in. And I have to enter boot mode here. Windows Boot Manager, HFM. Hopefully that one enters, otherwise. Can I return to F7 here? Are you already boot menu? Okay. So I've chosen Windows 11 here. Hopefully it posts. That is very loud. There we go. Nice one. That is where things went downhill fast last night. So I'm going to spare you most of the details here, and I'm just going to give you a summary of what essentially happened during that
1 to 2 hours of troubleshooting where I literally lost like a lot of sleep. So there's this thing where Windows can be tied to your Microsoft account. A lot of people don't recommend it, and I can see now why.
The question now becomes, shoot. Um, okay, I do not have network here, so I guess we'll find out what the hell happens now.
But my account was linked to my Windows install, and apparently, if you move or change your hardware substantially, move like for example, moving your boot drive from one system to the other, you have to re-verify your identity. Makes sense, right? Except that you have to re-verify it not just using your Microsoft password, but also using your alternate email. And using that to send a one-time passcode so that you can enter it and redo all your security configurations and stuff like that.
Crap, I have to verify my identity again. For crying out loud, dude. Of course, I don't have access to my mail.com. So how the hell am I supposed to get in then?
The issue for me was that my alternate email, which I set in 2019 and updated again in 2020, no longer existed because it went inactive for the last 2 to 3 years of me not actually opening my .mail account, which I essentially just used for two-factor authentication. That's not an ideal practice, and that's something that really bit me in the ass last night. And again, it's not completely Microsoft's fault here because I also have a lot of stuff to blame for that. But this is where things just went so convoluted that it's driving me nuts even now.
Crap. Okay, so I have everything except for this. Thank you, Microsoft.
So the workaround that I initially tried to do was to log into my administrator account. That didn't work because apparently you can't log into your administrator account if you can't log into your Microsoft account. So I had to get back my SSD, put it back into my laptop, turn everything back on, and reconfigure my Windows install so that it automatically opens not with my Microsoft account, but with a local administrator account that is tied to no accounts whatsoever. So, doing that, putting it back into my PC, I was finally able to open my my Windows installation rather, and I was finally able to try and set up a cloning software, right? Well, no, because there is no first party cloning software for Windows, so I have to find a third party software. Initially, this had some problems with my storage, but I fixed that altogether. But then I still could not find a proper third party software that wasn't paid. So I had to fall back to what WD recommended, which was Acronis True Image, which ultimately worked. Now, is this something that's like trivial for like a massive organization that has licenses? Sure. It may have been easier if I had just sent this into a computer store and had them clone all my software for me and not have to spend 2 to 3 hours in the middle of the night to try and troubleshoot the damn thing while I'm having a slow mental breakdown just trying to handle all the stress. Would it have been easier and would it have been better for my mental health? Absolutely. But what I'm trying to say here is that Microsoft really should have more user friendly ways in order to do this because this was not intuitive at all, and especially not having a first party cloning utility for your Windows install. What? So, anyways, I was able to finally do that, and after not an insignificant amount of troubleshooting, I was finally able to bring it all together. So let's continue the video to that one.
So I found the command, it's FW setup, and I've now put the Windows Boot Manager on top of Ubuntu, which funnily enough is actually on my hard drive there. So that probably wouldn't have happened if I had just removed the hard drive, but god dang it, I'm not doing that yet. So save configuration changes, And let's try again. It should post now. Okay, loading is on. I guess it's hopefully a good sign. And it posts. God. Okay. Okay. Oop. Okay. There we go. See now here. Task manager. Okay, it's taking a while. And it should say. Task manager should say. Boom. WDC. S500 G2 BOC. Whatever the model number is. So it worked, and it's done after a long ass process. Look at this, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning right now. So the entire process is complete. I'm pretty sure the amount of reserved memory has also increased. Hi. Oh. Okay. So yeah, there's probably a little bit there because it uses a host memory buffer for its caching. Let me see here. Its response times is reasonable. Very reasonable, I mean very low, which is to be expected from an NVMe, an actual NVMe SSD with Gen 4. And if we open this PC right here, this PC right here, you see kaboom, 340 free of 464, and that is what we want to see. So I'm going to be removing this partition right there at some point, just to like make my laptop lighter and also save on battery. So yeah, that's been the whole process. It's not been easy, but that's not mostly the drive's fault. Actually, the drive behaved fantastically throughout the process, and the Acronis Tree image software that the WD recommends actually worked. But it's just that there are like Windows really needs like a built-in tool for cloning their operating system into a different SSD, because this has not been a fun process at all, trying to find like an actual software that worked. But we did, and it's now done. And to add to that, I still have, hopefully my thing's not big enough. I still have this free. So this thing will be living in this PC right here. I will be deliberating whether or not I should reformat it at some point and then go from there. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching this very weird video. I'll put some numbers up on screen right now, or if I already did, well, that's great of me, I guess. But I'll put some numbers up to show how the comparison between the SN550 is to some of my disk drives around here. It is fast, by the way. So yeah. So I'm very sleepy. I don't know how to end this video. Bye.